So I'm head of school at Gainsborough Primary, so we have an executive head teacher who looks after two schools, more than one school, hence my appointment, because she can't be here all day every day, whereas I can be. So as head of school, I'm looking after the day-to-day running of the school.
Where did you come from and what made you come here?
So this is the fourth local authority that I've worked in, so I always say it's like I'm trying to hit every part of London. But I live in Tooting. Yeah.
That's a long way to come every day.
Yeah, it is a long way to come every day, yeah, and very different.
Is it a good thing to do? Do you find that commuting time good time, or is it a pain?
It's useful, actually. I don't mind it so much. And the role that I do now, because there's a lot of strategic thinking, I find that time really useful, thinking about how you want to organise your day, the kind of conversations you're going to have, how you're going to present certain things in meetings.
Who are the sorts of people who are commuting with you, and how many people get off the train?
So funny you say that. So my now husband used to live in Homerton. He's from Yorkshire, and when he first moved to London when he was 20, he's 40 now, when he first moved to London when he was 20, didn't know what he was moving to or what was in store for him, and he moved to Homerton, and he could not believe when he dropped me to work the other day how much it had changed. He was like, what are all these really artsy people doing around here? He just thought it was hilarious. When I come to work now, I'm always sat next to like either an artist or a doctor. Very regularly it's a film crew, so it's usually that kind of artsy crowd, or obviously we're very close to Homerton Hospital, so those kind of student doctors who are up, because we're commuting so early as teachers. There are no 2 days that are the same, which is the joy and the agony of the role. So there are some days where I might be doing quite complicated data analysis, which means that I just need that quiet thinking time that I'm not going to get here, because a lot of my job is face to face. So then I might leave quite early and then go and continue that work at home. Or I might be staying very late until 9 o'clock because you might have a governing body meeting, for example. Or you might have your day very neatly mapped out, and there might be a really complicated child protection case, for example, that you just can't anticipate, and you have those kind of curveballs, and that makes it very exciting and keeps you on your toes. But it can also be quite complicated because you're constantly dealing with competing priorities.
Hackney Week obviously has a lot of social housing still, and the word safeguarding or child protection issues and what have you is already cropping up in the conversation.
Yeah. It's representative of, in a London school, and it's representative of, as you quite rightly point out, the proportion of social housing that's in this immediate area. But it's something that we feel very strongly for, because we're quite often having to campaign, I would say, for the rights of those children. There are young professionals moving into the area, and it can be easy from an outsider's point of view to not fully appreciate how many complex needs there are still within the area.
You used the word campaigning. It's not a word that I necessarily associate with a head teacher, but do you feel it is part of your role?
Absolutely, yeah, you really do, because when more than one agency are involved, I suppose it's all the more reason to ensure that if we're the ones spending the most time with those young people, I suppose you feel a greater responsibility to do so. We're very lucky, we've got a really excellent team here that support the work that we do, but they're all dependent on each other, so there's every corner of the school needs to be really strong. So all of the work that the office do isn't in isolation, it really supports the teaching and learning. The teaching and learning supports all this pastoral work that happens in terms of child protection and family support.